Just testing. See if you can hear me. Hey, Bunny, come over here. So you take 3-part breathing into your tip of the nose, midbrain, back of the ribs, and belly, and pause. And then exhale from the belly, back of the ribs, throat, out the tip of the nose. And then just do that a couple more times, breathing at the tip of the nose, midbrain, back of the throat, back of the ribs and belly. Puff up and hold the breath. And release the breath. Take that one more time, relaxing the face, tip of the nose, back of the ribs and belly. Pause. Belly, exhaling back of the ribs, back of the throat, out of the tip of the nose. Start to let your knees just rock gently side to side. And as your knees rock side to side, let your head rock in the opposite direction. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. Have the feet pretty wide, so they're wider than your sit bones. And as your spine loosens up a little bit, let it drop a little bit further, all the way to the side. And up and all the way to the side, a few times like that. And all the way to the side. All the way to the side. And then one more time, come all the way up and over to the side. Let the left arm come up. And then start to slide the left arm across, left leg across, coming into a little bit of a twist, turning the head to the right. And then a hook the knee. And bring the knee a little closer to your chest. Slide the knee down. And come right back up to center. Scoop the tail a little bit, place your hips back down, bring the right arm up. Drop the knees over to the left. Bringing the left hand down, turn your head to the left as well. And start to slide the right knee up across so the foot comes to the inside of the left knee. And then just hook underneath the knee. You can put the back of the elbow to the back of the knee if you like. And then bring the knee up toward the chest a little bit. Breathe there. And then slide the knee down and come back onto your back and just bring both knees up. Kind of rock the hips a little side to side to even out that feeling in the sacrum. Interlocking the fingers and settle here. And relax the front of the body into the back of the body. Sink all your bones toward the floor. Let the arms relax. You can always come back into that 3-part breathing or just feel the breath move into the back of the body. Feeling the expansion of the inhale toward the floor. And then just start to lift the arms up and bring the feet down. And let the knees open to the side. Roll the shoulder blades down. The arms can stay up, or you can bring the hands down to the pelvis. And just take a few breaths here. Make sure the jaw is soft. Always take blocks under your knees if you feel so. And then we're going to just open to extension. So you open the legs out to the side. Stretch the arms out to the side. And let go here. If you get a cramp in your hip, you just bring the knee across. You kind of know what to do. We hold this for about a minute. And we'll start to come into banana. If you need to move the right hip out of the way, place the left foot and move the hip out of the way. Sliding the leg across. Take hold of the left wrist and bend your torso far right. And soften there. The head can look any direction you want. Just breathe there. Holding this for about a minute or two. Just start to curl into the right. Just curl yourself into the right, stacking the knees, taking the right hand over the knees, and sliding the chest open, the left hand coming onto the rib cage. Try to keep the knees stacked. You can also put your fists between the knees to put a little separation between the knees. And again, try to keep the knees stacked. You can also hook your palm under the inside of the left thigh to keep the knee forward. Twisting to the left. As your spine opens, if you would like to add the arm into it, you can bring the arm over. You can also place your arm up on a block or a blanket. Head can be right or left. And then turn back into the knees and bring the knees back up to the chest. Rock it out a little bit. And slide the legs out. Bring the arms up, stretch. Reach in all directions. Then release, let go. And then simply bring the right foot across. If you need to put the foot down to roll the left hip out of the way, you can. Slide the right leg across, taking the right wrist. Draw the torso to the left. Head can be in any direction. Start to curl yourself into the left. And you can bring, I like to bring the left hand underneath the right knee cupped. So you make a little cradle for the right knee, holding it in place. Right hand on the ribs and just start to twist back to the right. The head can be in any direction that you like. As you open here, if you want to add the arm into it, you can also bring your arm up on a pillow, bolster, or blanket. you can always go back into the breathing. Moving through the back of the ribs, softening on the exhales, releasing a little bit maybe on the exhale. The knees may come apart a little bit, but keep stretching the knees on top of each other. And then start to curl back in, coming over to your side. There's a bunny turn. And come all the way around and bring the right leg back and twist into the left hip. And then start to come down for deer twist. Stay here and come down onto your forearms. If you need more stretch, you can wiggle the right thigh back a little bit. Then start to come back up and just lean back on your hands and drop the knees to the right. Drop the knees to the left, and back over to the right. Staying to the right, walk your hands to the right. You'll be on the other side. Lift the hip a little bit if you need to get it out of the way. And twist. And you can stay up or come down to your elbows. You could even put a bolster under the rib cage if you like, a pillow. You can wiggle that back thigh back a little bit. After you hear about a minute or so, you start to come back up and lean back on your hands, drop the knees to the left, hey bunny, and over to the right, and maybe once again, over to the left. Keep a lumbar curve, neutral spine, let your hips move with it, and then come back to center and lift the hips up, stretch your head back, breathe here, feel the inner and outer feet. And then let your head come front, hips to the heels, and round the back. Breathing into the back of the ribs, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, sink. Feel the mound of the pinky finger and the mound of the thumb. Pressing the hands equally, keeping a little space for the median nerve under the palm of the hand. And sink back as you exhale. Maybe one more breath here. Try to fill up the back of the ribs. Exhale, back of the ribs. Lifting up, lumbar curve. Pull your tailbone back so you move through a lumbar curve. And you can come back. You can sit up on your pillow or blanket if you like, diamond pose or not. But make sure your flesh is out of the way. Come forward. Supporting your head if you like. Elbows can come up on blocks or just hang. Holding this for about a minute or 30. Or you can just breathe and wait till you release and then decide by feeling when you want to come out of it. Always come back into the breath, tip of the nose, midbrain, back of the ribs, belly, and then exhale from the bottom to the top out, and from the top to the bottom in. After a minute or so, or 3, start to come up. And once again, just lift the hips up and down a few times. Equal weight in the feet. You can let your head go back if you want. And then start to come down. We're going to bring the right leg over the left, either ankle to knee or ankle under the knee. But you stack the ankles up. Pull the flesh back. Tip the hip bones equally forward, especially if you have an issue on one side of the pelvis and the sacrum. Coming forward, breathing here for about a minute or 3. Feel free to bring a prop into it. Hold this for about a minute to 3 minutes. And then you can stay forward or walk your hands a little bit over toward the left. You can also bring your prop around, resting your elbows into your prop, or you can come up even higher. You can stay side or walk your hands a little bit more around to the left. It'll change the pull in the fascia on that opposite side. Move from here, just open your torso out to the left. You can bring your elbow up on your block or prop if you have one. The elbow can also come to the floor. Let your right arm drape to the side and then start to bring it across. The gaze can drop down. After about a minute or so, you can let your hand drop down. Stretch the finger side, open the neck, and turn the thumb down and bring the hand right behind your sacrum, palm facing out. Let the neck open a little bit more. And then reach through those right fingertips and pull down to come up. As you come up, take hold of that top knee and draw it into you and twist. Just take about 5 or 6 breaths here, twisting to the right. Around and take your hands to the floor, walking your hands around, feet about maybe 2 or 2.5 feet wide, and then you can hold your elbows and swing a little bit side to side, paws. The knees can also be bent here. You can also let your arms hang. Just a couple breaths here. We'll hold this longer in a minute. Release completely. Feel the weight of the head drawing down. Some people even like to hold the back of the neck in traction. And then soften the knees. We're going to walk the hands to the left and come around. Sit back down on the right hip, crossing the left leg on top or in front. Inner thighs back. Have you prop around if you need it. Tip both hips equally forward, especially if you have a problem in one side of the sacrum, coming forward and hang out. Hey, Bonnie. Hi, Tilly. Hi, Tilly Pinkers. Hold this for about 1 to 3 minutes. And you can stay forward or walk your hands over to the right. Bring your prop with you. You can be up higher too. Sometimes I'll stay up higher. If you're coming out of the hips too much and you're in the knee too much, you can push back with your hands. You walk your hands a little bit more to the right if you like, opening a little bit more the left fascia on the left side there. Relax. Keep checking in. Notice if you're starting to hold on. It always happens. And then start to open your chest over to the right, bringing the right elbow down onto your blocker bolster. And just pause here for a minute, letting your left arm hang down. And then start to sweep the elbow across, turning the head down a little bit. Breathing into the back body. Releasing the hand. After you're there a little bit, opening the palm. Letting the neck stretch, relax, open the shoulders. And then turn that left thumb down. Bring the hand behind your tailbone or sacrum. Palm facing out and pause. You can move the head around a little bit. Tip the chin up so you start to find where you need to open. And then start to reach down through the fingertips, pull down through the sit bones to come up. And keep twisting around to your left, bringing the front knee in. Give that knee a hug and continue to twist around to the left. And then start to release. We're going to release around, coming toward the front foot and just flipping all the way around, pointing the toes forward and coming to hand and ankle. Feeling both sides of the rib cage opening. Bend the knees if you need to. If you prefer to take a short dog here, you can take a short dog, which is great. You can come up to your fingertips. Drawing back the outer edges of the hips, so the outer edge both sides, drawing back. You'll feel a little more weight go to the outer feet when you do that. You can stay here or interlock the hands, taking a few breaths with the arms over. The knees can be bent here. Few full breaths. You can hold these as long as you want. Just kind of moving through. And then bring the elbows up to the knees. Lumbar curve, cervical curve, so you counterpose it. And then from here, start to work your way down towards a squat. Bring the elbows to the inside. You can sit up on a block here. I don't remember where my block is, but you can sit here. Letting the outer edges of the feet press into the floor a little bit. So you can use your elbows to press out. You can release and hang if you like. Then from here, start to lift up and come back to sit any way you can. And just windshield the knees again. Just go a little slow, counterposing. And we're going to drop all the way over to the right leg. This time bringing the shin a little more parallel to the front, rolling the inner thigh back, and coming forward over that leg. You can walk yourself toward the front foot or just stay center. Also, bolster's nice here. So you hold this for about a minute, and then just extend the leg back so you can time it on your own. Here comes the bunny. You can stay here or lift up, coming to pigeon, lifting the chest. Ooh, the bunny's behind the aquarium, not a good thing. So you can stay here for a little while. You can also come down onto your left forearm and twist into the leg. If you want to add the foot, you can add the foot into it. Stay right where you were from the very beginning. You can stay right here the whole time. And after about 3 minutes, just use your hands and lift up and bring that right foot forward and flex the foot. I might have to get that bunny out of there. Pull the toes back, extend the tip of the tailbone up and back, and the heart center coming forward. We hold this for about a minute, usually about 30 seconds here, and then rotate the leg out. You can also take a twist till they get out of there. Get out of there. And then a split. If you want to split here, you can work with a split or stay up. And then from here, we're just going to release the foot. Walk the hands around toward the left, turn the left foot out, and slide the right leg out. You can bring your left hand up on a block and open the chest. And then come back around, bring the right leg in, and the left leg forward, and we're just gonna heel toe it across, so we'll be on the left side. Left shin forward, coming around toward the foot, or straight forward. You can come up onto your bolster here, or whatever you have. Either staying here. About a minute here. And then if you want to tuck the toe and slide it back a little bit, maybe it'll stay turned out, or tuck it all the way back, coming towards pigeon. You can always adjust the front leg. You want to really listen. Anything that doesn't feel right to you, honor your own insight. Shift out of it, change it, figure it out. Stay here or come up, and just stay right where you are from the very beginning. If you took a variation, you can also come down. You can put your forearm on a block or pillow. I didn't do that on the other side. And you can twist to the left. You can plant your left hand on the thigh and push the thigh away a little bit, or come up, rolling your foot in. After a minute there, so all that maybe takes about 3 minutes, or just stay right where you were in the very beginning for the whole time, and then press down through your hands, and you can use blocks here, one block on each foot. Lift the tail, square your hips, flex the foot, so the heart center and hips coming forward. You can let your head go if you like. About 30 seconds here. You can always point and flex the foot a few times. Turning the leg out for about 30 seconds. I'm just kind of passing through fast, but you can stop and start. You can hold these longer or shorter, and then we just start to bring your hand center and come around, rotating the right toe out, sliding the left leg out, knee and ankle in the same plane, open the chest, and sweep across the arm. Breathing into the back body. And then start to drop the left arm and come around and step forward with the right leg to your dragon pose. One hand on either side of the foot, or you can come center. You can turn the foot out. You can wing the dragon, coming to the elbows. If you'd like to bring the foot up, you can bring the foot up. Or just stay right where you are, or stay up with your blocks. Let the upper back go though, with whatever you decide. Upper back releases. You can also turn the right foot out and roll onto the outer edge of the left thigh. And then just from here, come back around and just bring that right foot back and come back to child's pose. Stretching the arms forward, supporting the head, Or if you like, you can extend the arms, bend the elbows, and hands behind the head. You want to extend the elbows forward. You can also put your elbows up on blocks. After about a minute or so, start to come back up. Inhale, sink between the shoulder blades, stretching up. Exhale, tailbone, low back, middle back, come way up to your fingertips. Tuck your back toes under and stretch back, opening the toes. Keep drawing the navel toward the spine, puffing the rib cage up so you're opening the fascia along the back of the body, the soles of the feet, back of the toes, and then release up. Lead with the heart center. Walk the hands forward a little bit if you need to. Lead with the heart center. Come forward with the hips. And stretch here. You can always stay in cat-cow if you like. And then all the way back, tuck the toes, downward dog, stretch back. Lift just the right heel without disturbing the hips, without changing the height of the hips. So the heel just lifts a little bit. Drop the right heel and just the left heel a little bit without the hips tipping. Keep the hips very level. And then come down. And then we're going to step forward. I don't know. What is it? Leg comes forward. The left leg forward. Into your dragon pose. Let your head go. Soften here. You can stay here or let the arms come center. You can heel toe the foot out. You can wing the dragon so you roll to the outer foot if you like. You can add in the elbows coming down. You can also keep the foot up and come down. The elbows can come on blocks, bolsters, or you can stay up. If you're okay here and you brought the back foot up, you bring the back foot up. Don't force anything, let it be organic, so over time it opens and it's not that hard to do. It's sensational, but not too hard. And then after a little while, wherever you are, start to come up. And you can stay the whole time here, letting your head go, yeah. And then start to come back. Opening to all fours, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, round and reach back, coming back to child's pose. And just hang out in child's pose for just a couple breaths. And then start to roll up. And bring your hands back and lift the, can you see me? And lift the hips. Scoop the tail. And then this is a place where if you would like to take full saddle, you would come back. You can leave this out if you like, onto your back here, holding the elbows, or up on your bolster here, which is nice. Or you can also work on half saddle here, is bringing one leg back, one leg forward, coming over to your elbow, holding here for about a minute. Also come back onto your bolster here. Be mindful of your back. My rule is, for me, is if my back feels funky, is I try to find neutral spine. So not tucking under or not hyperextending. So maybe to not hyperextend, you do have to lengthen the tailbone under. Or maybe if you're tucking under, maybe you do have to tip the hips a little bit to create a lumbar spine. And if you're half saddling after the second side, just bring the leg around and any way you can, just come onto your belly. I'm just passing through. And forehead to your hands and just rock your knees side to side. And then extend the legs back, tuck the toes and extend back and pull the bottom ribs forward, coming up to Sphinx pose. You can stay lifted in, the head lifted in Sphinx, sink between the shoulder blades. So it'll look like your shoulders are lifting, but they're not. You're sinking down between the shoulders. It's different action than standing up and lifting your shoulders. You can stay here, relaxing the belly, the bottom ribs reaching toward the floor, or you can hang your head. If you like to hang your head, you can just stay here. Some people like to bring their feet up and let the feet hang out to the side. After you hear about a minute or so, you can bring the legs back down, the head back up, and you can either stay here or bring your elbows up onto your blanket, coming up a little higher, or bolster, whatever you have. Or you can stay down in Sphinx, that's fine. Or you can come right up, sliding the hands in isometrically, coming up to seal pose. You can kind of seal around. So once you get to seal, same thing, your arms are like pillars and you sink down between the shoulder blades. Just let yourself go. Don't worry about your shoulders lifting up to your ears and all that stuff. Different action. So your spine is hanging, just draping down, and your arms are really strong. You just let your spine hang. After a minute or so here, minute or two, these can all be held up to 5 minutes. I don't hold them 5, but a lot of people do. And then start to come down after a little bit. Forehead back to the hands, feet back up, and rock one more time. Let your hips go. So the upper body's fairly stable, and you let your hips drop and drop so you get a twist. After a few times there, just tuck the toes, extend the legs, and slide the hands back by the rib cage. Start to lift up just the upper back and the head. You can lift the hands a little bit. Turn the head to the right and lower down. So you move the neck and come up center. Pause to the left and lower down. One more time, both sides. And up. Pause. Make sure you're not tightening the neck. Turn the head to the right and lower down. Rest. So you're stretching the neck. And up center, a little higher, turn your head and lower down. We're going to add the leg into it now. Now start to lift the right leg and come center. Turn the head right and lower down. Lift the left leg and head center. Turn the head to the right and lower down. Lift the right leg and come center. Turn the head to the right and lower down. Let's do it one more time. And left leg and center. Turn the head to the left and lower down. Come back to the center with no leg lifting. Slide the hands back, bend the knees up, and flex the feet. Press the heels together and pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Either stay here You can extend the legs if you like. You can interlock and stretch. And either stay here or bring the feet back up, take the ankles and press up to your bow pose, or just stay here. And the legs can even be on the floor. And then release down. Hands come under again. And slide the left knee up. Turn your head to the right cheek and pause. Bring the knee up a little higher if you like. And then come down with the leg, and turn your head to the other side. Left cheek, right knee comes up. You can use your hand to help get it up there. The hips won't be down all the way. And then slide the knee down and just simply roll onto your backs. And hands to the pelvis, knees together again. Inhale a full breath from the tip of the nose, back of the ribs, breathing into the belly, and exhaling. And again, inhale, tip of the nose, midbrain, back of the ribs and belly. Hold the breath and release the breath. Just easy, just start to rock the knees again, really tiny, real tiny at first. A little tiny rock with the head up, back into the neck and spine. Let it start to get a little bigger. Then let your arms lift and drop the knees to the right. Wiggle the left leg back a little bit. You want to have the knee right underneath the hip. And bring the right hand down. Slide the left arm across a little bit more. You can turn your head to the right. Some people are good here. Some people like to add the foot into it. I'm not crazy about the foot into it, but you can do that if you like. You can also put the heel, your right heel, underneath the left knee for support, or block or bolster under there. Holding this about a minute or so, or longer. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then you slide the left knee in and come up, and bring the arms over. Lift the hips up a little bit, scoop under a little bit, and then roll the spine back down, neutral spine. Gently drop the knees to the left side, heel toe the right foot back. Even a little further if you like. Slide the right elbow across the crown of the head a little bit, and bring the left hand down. You can turn the head right or left, or center. The arm can also be more out to the side. You might have to work differently on your sides. I'm really different from side to side. You can also bring the foot across if you did so, or like it to do that. Remember the underlying qualities: to relax, breathe, pay attention, aware attention. After about a minute or so, or 3, bring the knees back up. Arms overhead. Inhale a breath with the arms over. As you exhale, roll the hips up. Inhale here. Exhale, roll the hips down. Inhale with the arms over. Exhale the navel to the floor and roll up. Let's stay here this time. Interlock your hands. Roll the shoulders underneath. And press the elbows down, tip the chin back, take a few breaths here. And either stay here, you can use your hands for this to bring the legs up and over, or grab hold of your, I don't know where that thing is. Grab hold of your bolster or block and bring it under the hips. And then lower down and bring the knees in and start to take the soles of the feet. So you can use the bolster to help kind of tip you up, and just let your back start to open. Take your time here. You'll be a little stiff in the back. So it's diamond pose, upside down. You can let the hips come off the bolster, but you can still, to counterpose it, reach the outer edge, think of the outer edges of your thighs reaching back. So even though they're lifting, they're going back at the same time. And then from there you can extend the legs back over a little bit. Maybe they might be, for some of you guys, up a little higher. That's okay. The knees can be a little bent. If you like to lift your hips off the ground a little bit, that's fine. You can take more of a plow. So this is snail, reaching the hands to the feet. To deepen snail, I don't teach it very often, but you drop your knees by your ears. You can take your arms over. And then start to roll down. You can hold these all much longer, sliding the bolster out. And with any twist that you like, we're going to do an easy twist. Dropping the knees to the right, sliding the right leg down a little bit, and just let the foot hook behind the knee. So both knees are a little soft. And the left arm out to the side, palm up, elbow back. Just breathe there. You hold this about a minute or so, as long as you want. This is sort of a mini yin class, so you'd have to really, you'd have to really use your own timer and pause the thing. I know it's kind of a pain, but I'm just experimenting. And then come up and give your knees a hug, soften, really let go. Melt into the floor, all the back of the body. Slide the left leg down and start to, you kind of gently hook the knee, foot behind the knee. Soften the bottom leg too, let the knee come across. You can always leave your hand on the rib cage or open it side or up on a diagonal. The head can be up or side. Coming back to center. One more time, hug the knees in, soften. You can hold anywhere you like. You can also keep the knees more open if that feels better to you. It's really nice just to kind of let them hang over. I call it the soft bug. Feeling the sacrum onto the floor. So you just let your knees kind of hang where they do in the sockets, in your hip sockets. And then bring the feet down slightly wider than your hips, and then let your knees knock in. And here we start again, right from the beginning. Tip of the nose, center of the brain, breathing into the belly and pausing, following the breath out, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, pausing, and letting go with the breath. Exhale's a little longer than the inhales. Inhale, back at the releasing. And releasing. A few more breaths like that. After taking about 5 or so breaths like that, start to slide the legs out and come into Shavasana, any Shavasana that you like. The arms can be here. You can also bring your bolster under the knees if that feels better to you. Tip the chin back a little bit so the neck's not pulled. And you just hold here for as long as you like. So that's just our practice experiment for today.